heard what you said about me.
Why don't you just, stick to being the cute little sidekick?
You know, break the mold and make things different. Tommaso will continue.
Hey, what is up, you guys? It is Tyler. Welcome back to the Tyler Williams channel. Welcome to another NXT review. It is Wednesday night, so you guys know what that means. I said that out of order, but it's whatever. Anyway, we just got off of NXT, and I think it was a good show. I think the main event is what made it good. If the main event never happened and we just had like a okay or just a good match in the main event, it would be an okay show, missable show. But this main event was takeover levels great. Takeover level great. And that's saying something, because usually, that's not to say that NXT doesn't have great matches on television, but usually the matches are good or very good or okay or below, but it's never, you don't really see too many great matches on NXT television. But when you do, it's like, this is why I watch NXT, man. The main event was great, but we'll get to that gradually as we make our way through this review. So we're going to start off first with the opening match. We had a match between Danny Burch and Adam Cole. That was basically to set up the main event. It was good for what it was worth. I was not going to mind. My mind was a little bit elsewhere during this match. So I caught bits and pieces of it. It was good from what I saw. Danny Burch, Adam Cole, both very talented. More so, I favor Adam Cole than I do Danny Burch. If you ask me who's the better of the two between Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan, I would tell you Oney Lorcan. My favorite of the Undisputed Era is Adam Cole. So, you know, match went hand in hand with each other. Adam Cole finished the match with his kneecap brainbuster, which I love seeing that move. And then finished it up with the running knee to the back of the head, which I am not a fan of the way Adam Cole does it. But he put down his knee pad, which made the move look more effective, so that was a plus. And Adam Cole won the match. So, yeah. Undisputed Era already getting a win tonight. Made you think, so if Adam Cole won already, that must mean they're going to lose the main event. But we'll see about that. We then get to a segment with Candice LeRae. She's getting interviewed outside. We had a lot of outside segments in the show. Well, really only two, but it seems like a lot. She was walking outside, and the interviewer's like, "Hey, such and such, are you worried about this opponent?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, da 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 da." And then she ran into Shayna Baszler. She's like, "Hold on a second." So she goes up to Shayna Baszler. Man, Candice LeRae, whole G in this segment. She walks up to Shayna Baszler. Now, you know, everyone's just so damn scared of Shayna Baszler. Like, everyone is just scared to walk the path she walks and look in her direction, and she's just such a badass. Well, Candice LeRae walks up to her, and she's like, "I heard what you said about me." And I'm like, "Oh, shit." She's like, "I heard what you said about me." And Shayna's like, "Yeah, and what?" "And what you gonna do about it?" And that's not word for word what she said. I mean, that's word for word what Candice said, but that's not word for word what Shayna said. I'm kind of ad-libbing there. Next thing you know, Candice slaps her in her face. I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like, this is how, like, fights be started. Like, hand, like, you know, clocked in the face hand, like, fight starts. I'm like, yo, where did Candice get these grapefruits from? Like, where did she borrow them from? Because I know she ain't borrowed from her husband all of a sudden. Because, actually, you know what? Probably did borrow from Johnny, because y'all know how Johnny was getting, Johnny was going in. He was going in on EC3 last week. She probably like, "Hey, yo, hubby, let me borrow your nuts for a second." And then he was like, "Alright," gave it to her. Next thing you know, she's slapping Shane in the face the next week. That's probably what happened. Anyway, that's how that segment went. So they're probably setting up a bit of a mini feud between her and Candice going into NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, because I think the match there is going to be her versus Kyrie. So this might be a little feud to go into that one. Yeah, I think both her and her husband are going off Edge here. We then got a segment with Dakota Kai. I cannot get enough of Dakota Kai, man. She's just the cutest thing ever. And I hate to say, oh, she's cute. She's a cute wrestler, because she's a really good wrestler in the ring. But every time I look at her, I'm like, I just want to pinch her cheeks and play video games with her. Show her a good time. Every time I see Dakota Kai. Anyway, so she's talking to the camera about how she's working her way back up the NXT Women's Division and how soon she's confident that she could beat Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship. When Lacey Evans walked into frame, wearing a 20s outfit, looking like she's straight out of Glow. What is that girl's name? Liberty Bell. Looking like... Oh, speaking of Glow, the second season of Glow just dropped today. Or if not today, yesterday. I haven't even finished season 1, but I'm already hyped for season 2. Anyway, so Lacey Evans walked in here looking like someone from the 20s. Talking about, oh, well, you know, I don't know about you beating Lacey and getting the title dirty with your hands, and I can't really speak like her. As y'all see, I didn't do a very good job. Lacey Evans said her Lacey Evans thing, and Dakota said, we'll see about that. And that was the end of the segment. I said Kyrie because we're getting into a Kyrie Sane match. We then got to the next match, Vanessa Bourne versus Kyrie Sane. It was a nice little match. It was nothing special, but I will say that Vanessa Bourne has improved. I will say that because we've seen her on NXT here and there. She doesn't wrestle every single week, but she's been improving. She hit a nice twisting suplex in this match, which was pretty good. I mean, it's nothing impressive, but step up. She's been improving a lot more than Kona Reeves has. Now, I don't know who started wrestling first. Maybe Vanessa Bourne has like a year or 2 years edge on Kona. But she, in this match, impressed me a lot more than Kona Reeves has in the past month that I've seen on television. So that should say something about Kona Reeves. Anyway, Kyrie Sane won the match with a nice bridging cloverleaf. This was a beautiful looking bridging cloverleaf. She locked in on Vanessa Bourne for the victory. I would have tapped out too. After the match, Kyrie Sane called out Shayna Baszler. Didn't say to where, but just basically called her out. So that's setting the stone for their match at TakeOver. She said, I beat you before and I could do it again, basically. This led to an Aleister Black segment. He was outside talking to the cameraman about Tommaso Ciampa. When Johnny Gargano, looking dirty and grimy and angry at the world, mad as shit, comes into the frame like, you can't let Tommaso Ciampa beat you. First of all, I've been like, bitch, who the hell are you walking up on me like that? Like, you understand how Johnny looked in this segment. Like, he looked so angry, dirt all on his face, just walked in the frame, just like totally cut off. Like, first of all, if Johnny was on the street, he would have got uppercutted like right away. Like, don't do that. Don't walk up on someone in the dark, no less. Walking up on him. Technically, he didn't walk up on me, just appear in front of him, but still. Then, Aleister's like, well, you know, I'm going to beat him, so don't worry about it. Then Johnny going to reach over and pull his arm back like, hey, bitch, I'm still talking to you. First of all, Johnny would have got kicked in the face the second time around, too, for doing that. Like, Johnny getting a little bit beside himself now. Like, I can understand you being angry at Tommaso beat you, but you putting your hands on Aleister now? Like, Aleister will... Then Aleister... No. I got to get that wrong. Johnny did beat Aleister before. It was a fatal four-way match. Technically, it was a singles match, but he still beat him. But Johnny just better be careful, because he get a little bit beside himself right now. I understand he angry, but don't be angry at the wrong people now. And Aleister basically said, chill out. I'm going to beat him. It seems like you got some personal aggression you got to figure out, so how about you go figure that out, and I'm going to go do what I got to do. And then he left. Walked into the building, got laid out by Tommaso Ciampa. Coincidentally, as Johnny Gargano said, you better beat Tommaso. 2 seconds later, he gets laid out by Tommaso. Interesting. Sort of looks like they're working together. I don't know, guys. I'm thinking what's about to happen here is Johnny is going to help Tommaso win the championship so that way he can beat Tommaso for the championship. Anyone think about that yet? I don't know. I think I'm the first one. Hopefully. Anyway, we didn't get to the main event, which was the match I was talking so much praise about. Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Now, if you guys remember, Mustache Mountain beat Undisputed Era in the UK a few weeks ago for the NXT Championship match, NXT Tag Team Championships. So this was their owed and basically contractually obligated championship rematch. That was a damn great match. Now, I will say this. The crowd was so goddamn annoying in this match. Mustache Mountain undisputed. Mustache Mountain They chanted this like literally for 5 straight. Now at first it was before the match even started. Like the announcer was announcing names. It started. I'm like, all right, a little bit disrespectful, but whatever. Bell ring, still chanting it. I'm like, okay, I guess they're really hyped for the match. You know how crowd would chant, "This is awesome" for the match even starts. All right, I get that. They're locking up, still chanting it. They're wrestling now, still chanting it. This goes on for like 3-5 minutes of them still chanting it. I swear to God, at one point I muted my TV. It got so annoying. Something happened and they stopped. They're like, oh! They stopped for a bit, and guess what? They fucking started doing it again. I'm like, what? What are you still cheering for? Pay attention to the goddamn match they're trying to get. This is why Full Sail annoys me sometimes. Like, they try to get themselves over, and it's so annoying. Like, pay attention to the match. Stop. They were essentially ruining this match a little bit. Like, had they not chanted this, I'm sure this match rating would have been so much higher than it actually is, but the crowd was so irritating with that undisputed. And then they did it a little bit later in the match, which then I muted my TV for a few seconds until they stopped. Anyway, let me get into this a little bit. So he started off with a tornado attack, and usually what I mean by that is they're attacking each other in the very beginning of the match. Like, everybody's attacking each other. They spilled to the outside. Kyle O'Reilly had Trent Seven on the steps. You know how they do the whole shin breaker and knee breaker thing? Well, he did it onto the steps and sent him back into the ring, and that set the stone for the tone of the match. Because the targeting point for Undisputed Era was that knee of Trent Seven. He had a knee brace on. And Kyle O'Reilly was targeting this the whole match. He had a leg lock locked in. He kept on doing chop blocks. He went to the corner of Roderick Strong, had him stomp on it. Roderick Strong aimed on it. Then Kyle O'Reilly went back to the offense. And Trent Seven was in the ring for a good 5-7 minutes. Just getting his leg attacked. And I felt real bad. Trying to tag in Tyler, but they wouldn't let him. Trying to tag in Tyler, but they wouldn't let him. Then finally Tyler gets in the ring. He goes ape shit. He went at Kyle O'Reilly. He went at Roderick Strong. Just going all over the place. He did the ricochet spot where he puts his arm on the ropes. And then like the Dean Ambrose thing, except it looks cooler, and he clotheslines him. He did it to Kyle, then he did it to Roderick Strong. Then he did the wheel kick shit. Then he did the airplane spin, but it was stopped by Kyle O'Reilly. Really cool because he was doing an airplane spin of Kyle O'Reilly, but he transformed it into a guillotine choke, which Tyler Bate got out of it. Turned it into a Tyler driver, but he kicked out. Roderick Strong got in the ring. Then he got Roderick Strong up for the airplane spin, but Kyle O'Reilly got into the ring. And this was so cool because then Tyler Bate put Kyle O'Reilly down for the Cesaro spin while he had Roderick Strong on his shoulder. So now he's airplane spinning Roderick Strong while he's spinning Kyle O'Reilly at the same time. That was so fucking cool. Tyler Bate got cool points for that one. I already like Tyler Bate. I just liked him a lot more after this match. So now Tyler Bate's looking like hot shit. But now he's starting to get attacked by both of them. He's starting to look bad. Trent Seven's like, tag me in. And Tyler Bate's like, well, no, you're hurt, obviously. Why would I tag you in? So now he's going back, but the Undisputed Era is all over him. I don't remember if Tyler Bate reluctantly tags him in or if he accidentally... I think he accidentally fell into Trent Seven and he tagged himself in. So Trent Seven tags himself in. He starts going in on Kyle O'Reilly a little bit, but this didn't last long. This didn't last too long because then Kyle O'Reilly locked in that leg hold onto Trent Seven, and Trent Seven was locked in this leg hold for a while. I mean, he was in this leg hold for about 3 minutes of him just in agony and pain, and Tyler couldn't get in the ring because, he's not a legal man. So he's on the rope like, tag me in. Crowd's going like crazy. They're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? It was like a callback to NXT Secret Philadelphia when Ember Moon was in that armbar for like 2 minutes. This is what it felt like. Except instead of tapping out, he could tag in. But he's trying to reach. He's reaching. He's crawling. But then Kyle O'Reilly pulls him right back into the middle of the ring. Has it locked in. Now he's fighting out of it. He's punching him. He's kicking him. Finally, he lets go. Now he has a chance to tag in Tyler. But Kyle O'Reilly gets up fast enough to lock it right back in. Now he's struggling. He's all his might. He's holding his hands. He's trying not to tap out. Crowd's like, don't tap out, don't tap out. And Tyler Bate is just like basically all but in tears in the corner, like, oh my god, I can't let this happen. What do I do? What do I do? And he can't, like. My thing is, as many times as we've seen wrestlers get in the ring when they weren't supposed to, why the fuck didn't Tyler Bate just break it up? Tyler Bate, however, gets a white towel, like, I need to break it up, but I can't do anything about it. Throws in the towel, and that's basically the equivalent of Trent Seven tapping out. Bell rings, Undisputed Era is the new NXT Tag Team Championships. NXT Tag Team Champions. And that's how the match ends. The match ending was, I guess, pretty. I'm okay with the match ending. The match itself was great, though. If you guys have time, make sure you guys go watch the main event. The main event is a must-see. And yeah, that was NXT. Pretty good episode. I will definitely advise you guys to watch it, and especially for the main event once again. But yeah, that was NXT. I love you guys as always. Make you guys tune in for tomorrow's Lucha Underground review. I will talk to you all later. Peace out.